Hello, I'm Anne Pilling, and welcome to my homepage and to my website. I have made a change in my writing life. You may know me through my children's books. I was writing children's books for many, many years, for nearly 30 years, and it was a privilege to do that. But always I was writing poetry for my own, delight. It isn't always a delight to work hard at a poem, but to my own satisfaction. And the time came 5 years ago, when I was 60, to make a change. And I thought, if I don't start getting my head down and writing poetry seriously and publishing, it's never going to happen. So I made a conscious decision. I made a cut-off, and I set aside the writing of my children's books and turned to poetry. I wrote a poem about this watershed, which I'd like to read, and it's called On Being 60. On Being 60. The balloons have drifted slowly up to the top of the house, where they nudge the ceiling and hover, like people waiting for a lift to open. On Saturday they were full to bursting, fat fruits ripe at the year's turning, but they sag now. Above our roof, the sky's that tingling blue of late October. Homing birds edged black in little lines, each cloud hand-picked. They're bumping the rafters now. The sky's the thing. To be out there, to be carried across the world on the thin, fine air, to get strength again, be more balloon than they were before. Let me open the window. One more push, and we'll be away. And I have experienced this truth, having made that decision, that it was very liberating. And the truth is, there's nothing like a big decision at a point in your life when you think your energy is sagging to give you a sort of new injection of energy. And I just want to talk for a minute about words. T.S. Eliot had this phrase, the interminable wrestle with words and meanings. Now you may think writing a book for children is a doddle. It certainly isn't. You have to consider your audience very carefully. It is a very critical audience. It can be a very loyal audience. And you must have it right. And I guess if I have a look at my shelves of all the books I've published, and in my cupboard for several manuscripts that have not been published, in 30 odd years of writing I must have written millions of words. A word is a precious thing, and in sifting through words and words and words and words for the right ones, always just a handful out of hundreds and thousands, you are, in my case, I have been trying to give my young readers the best language. So the good story must be presented in the best possible language, and for me, in beautiful language. And I'd just like to end this set of musings by reading you a poem which I dedicated to the wonderful Irish poet Michael Longley. If you're interested in birds, you may have had the privilege of seeing dunlins displaying. Radio 4 once, quite recently, did a programme about dunlins, and it said watching dunlins display was one of the great sights of nature. And I have had the privilege of seeing that twice, once on the Norfolk coast, and then, rather unexpectedly, in Oxford, over Port Meadow, which is a lovely wide watery expanse where folk walk their dogs and you are allowed to let your horse graze. I think it is common land. Michael Dunlin once said to me, "You've got to look at every word in your poem. Every word must work to earn its place. What is that word doing? And if it isn't doing anything, you must take it out." And from the image of Dunlins and the way they arrange themselves, I developed a poem about a poem. Dunlins, for Michael Longley. They might have gone already. That grey line which separates dull sky from duller grass could be a thread of mist, but it is water, a ribbon fringed with chattering migrants. They fly up as we edge nearer and go east in a single streak towards St. Barnabas, skirt the Campanile, then swarm back in the shape of a wide stole, cloud yellow flecked with black, like drift from a bonfire. After that first wing surge, they are silent. They have stopped over our heads, frozen in air, watching the conductor. But we can see the child's tick of each bird continuously flapping to keep its position in the dance, as in a poem where every word must work to earn its place.